I wanted to make a statement with this record in the sense that I felt naturally inclined to make a record in this register without tuned down guitars and 7 strings and all that stuff. I just wanted to challenge myself to see if I can still sound like me and in the context of intervals, but to play the instrument the way I want to play it and the way I've been trying to do it for a really long time. The original intervals material was sort of like some stuff I had composed for a previous band and it wasn't, really gelling. And I just existed in that world before where you tune your guitar down and you do that. And somewhere early on, I realized I wanted to change that. But you have a hard time doing that, really. People get bent on a particular sound. You're known for doing this one thing. But because so much was changing in my world, I was like, now's my opportunity to really switch it up and do exactly what I want to do, so. So at the beginning of 2015, I underwent surgery for a condition called WPW. It's a heart-related thing. Everything went well, but obviously it was like really stressful. I toured for a long time with that on my mind. Live music is a high adrenaline environment, and that definitely weighed heavy on my conscience. So the point is, the record is super upbeat and really fun and sort of bubbly because I'm not the kind of guy that if I'm depressed or something's keeping me down that I'm going to sit in a room and write depressing music. I sort of want to channel the opposite because I feel like art's supposed to be cathartic. So like my whole thing is like if I'm feeling down, I'm going to write upbeat music because I'm trying to make myself feel a certain way. And that's sort of where the whole audible and visual aesthetic of the album came from, was just trying to like lift my spirits and make like really fun music. Well, the album was initially going to be self-titled. It was sort of a statement that I wanted to make because it was like the first, venture in the catalog that was like solely my brainchild. Not that the rest wasn't, but I think it was just more apparent to people and more obvious at that point. So I was working on the art with my designer, and the cover was an aesthetic I was trying to achieve, but we were having a hard time putting it where it needed to be by trying to self-title the album and then painting a picture for him, what I wanted to achieve. It wasn't really, the connection wasn't all the way there. So I had actually created the title in order just to facilitate the look of the cover, just to give him something to work off of. And then when he hit me back with the final based on what I had described, they worked so well together that I ended up actually titling the record The Shape of Color. I'm trying to represent the music in a way that's open-ended and interpretive, but still allows people to like take what they will from it and look at the cover and go, what the hell am I looking at? And how does that make me feel? And all that. So, and you referenced the song I'm Awake. That riff was bouncing around in my head when I was like looped out and coming to, and it's actually really rare for me to have something like that happening. I typically feel out all of my music with the instrument in my hand. For whatever reason, this like melody and riff thing was just kind of bouncing around in there, and it was the first thing I took advantage of when composing the record, and that's why it's like the very beginning of the album, and it sort of sets the tone for the entire release. I try not to be so literal when I name songs like that. I try to dance around the idea, but in that particular scenario, I think it was appropriate. So. I think one of the most exciting things about how the following course of action from this record and moving forward is going to go is that I'm excited by the potential of new blood being on stage with me and coming out and collaborating with different individuals and being able to change that up. If you look at any legendary jazz musicians like Miles Davis or Charlie Parker, or just to use as a couple examples, the band always turns around. It's about the individual who's making the music and what they bring. That is the constant, and the other elements can be variables. And that sort of falls in line with what I was just talking about. I think that might not be so appealing to certain individuals, but at the same time, the music starts and ends with me, and I want to play it with the individuals that I feel inclined to. At this point in time, I'm the most excited about who I've been playing music with. I just finished a tour with Nathan Bulla on drums, who plays drums for a band called Auras. And half of the act for this tour was from Australia. I had Plini on a second guitar. He was also supporting me on the tour, playing his own music. We decided to put our heads together and collaborate to do this tour. I'm actually playing for him all summer in Europe as well. So we're doing double duty all summer long, which is this great sort of cross-pollination where I support him and he supports me. And it's a really fun way to play a ton of music and just give back and forth to each other, which is really exciting. And I had an amazing bass player by the name of Simon Grove, who's from Sydney, Australia as well. He plays for Plini, and he played bass on this current tour. We're actually billed together for the unforeseeable future for the rest of the year, which is amazing that an act from Canada and Australia can tour together all year. People seem to really like that combination. We love it too, and we're gonna milk it while we can because it's awesome to show up and be able to play music between two acts as only 5 people. And we're able to literally turn the whole set around and play completely different music, which is so awesome. And there's not enough of that because there's so many talented musicians in this scene, but not enough of that collaboration, I think. I love the idea of being able to bring, new faces and do that. And I think that it makes every tour special and exciting. And you're always gonna get a new spin on things. The constant is going to be myself, the music, the production, and all of that. But yeah, do things. I just want to break rules. I just want to do stuff different. I think that this is an excellent way to do that. And I know that, for example, Plini is really into it as well. It's like we kind of found something that works on this tour where you can do something special and unique. I have no plans to nail down specific positions. I know that Nathan's going to be doing as much as possible, and he's local to me. He's from the Kitchener-Waterloo area, and he's always been there for me, and he's just one of the best dudes I know. And I should also note that at the beginning of the tour, Plini's immigration was delayed, so there was a week of this tour where they were stuck in Australia. Sam Jacobs from the After Image and Escape from Echo Base filled in for a week, learned the set in like 4 days, which was super impressive. Would love to bring him back out. Any local GTA bass players should get at me because they're hard to come by. If you play a mean bass, find me somehow, or I'll find you hopefully, but I'm having a hard time doing that, so you should find me, is what I'm saying.